So today we're going to talk about sine and cosine of complementary angles. So for your warm-up, I want you to try number 1 and number 2, and then I want you to try drawing this out, okay? So this is a double trig question, so what we did in 8.4, and then we also did it in law of sines. So I want you to try this out, and then come back to the video. So after you're done, what we're going to do is we're going to move on to problems 1 and 2. So in number 1 it says complete the following table using your calculator. So right now you need to get out your calculator. You need to make sure it is in degree mode. So if I hit mode, I see it's in degree right here, this third line, which is perfect, so I can hit second quit. So on my chart it says it wants to know the sine of 0 degrees. I come over to my calculator, I hit sine 0. Close the parentheses, hit enter, and I get 0. So on my chart, I'm going to put sine 0 equals 0. Then I'm going to do that with sine 10. So now I hit sine, I hit 10, enter, and I'm going to round it to 4 decimal places. So this is going to be 0.1736. So now I do it with sine 20. Sine 20, enter, and I get 0.3420. So I want you to fill in that chart as much as you can. So do that now. While you're doing it, I'm going to do it as well. So here's some background music for you. Okay, by this point you should have your table filled in. If you don't, make sure you pause this and copy this down. So let's take a look at our table. Now if you notice, our degrees only go from 0 to 90 degrees on both sides, okay? Well, take a look at the table. What do you notice? Maybe you notice that the sine of 10 degrees 0.1736 is equal to the sine of, or the cosine of 80 degrees. Okay, does this work for everything? So sine of 30 degrees is equal to the cosine of 60 degrees. Or we have sine 70 degrees is equal to the cosine of 20 degrees. So I want you to take a look. Now, we know that the sine of 10 is equal to the cosine of 80, but what do you notice between 10 and 80? They have to add up to 90 degrees. So Your rule is that the sine of an angle is equal to the cosine of the other angle when they add up to 90. So the sine of 10 and the cosine of 80 are equal when 10 plus 80 would give you 90. So when are the sine of an angle equal to another, or to the cosine of an angle? And that is when the angles add up to 90 degrees. So using this chart and using what we know now, that the decimals are equal and the degree measures add up to 180. So that's an extra piece. So decimals are equal, degrees add up to 180. Or excuse me, 90. So we're going to try a couple problems. So here, sine of x equals cosine of 62. So I know the sine and the cosine are equal when the angles add up to 90. So that means that x plus 62 has to be 90. So to solve for x, you're going to subtract 62. That means x has to be 28 degrees. Okay, let's try another one. So in number 2, it says the sine 4x plus 10 degrees is equal to the cosine of 60 degrees. Well, one of my stars is degrees add up to 90, so since these are both degrees, it's going to be 4x plus 10 plus 60 equals 90. So I'm going to combine my like terms. I'm going to subtract 70 over on the other side. And 20 divided by 4 would give me 5. Okay, let's try number 3. So in number 3, sine of 2x minus 5 degrees is equal to 5x minus 45 degrees. So since it's degrees again, you're going to add them and set them equal to 90. So add your like terms together. This is going to become 7x equals 140. 140 divided by 7 would give you 20. Okay, so if it's sine of an angle equal to cosine an angle, you add them up and set them equal to 90. However, up here, if you notice my pink, we know the two decimals are equal. So whenever they give you something that's not an angle, so here they give you sine of A equals 5x plus 0.1 and cosine B equals 8x minus 0.35. What you do is you set them equal to each other. So the decimals are congruent. So that's why we set them equal to each other. So unlike 1, 2, and 3, they give you degrees. Here they don't, so you set them equal to each other. So now I'm going to move the 30 or 0.35 over on the other side. And I get this. I'm going to subtract 5x on the other side and then divide by 3, and 0.15 is my x. So again, anytime they give you a decimal or not a degree, you set them equal. So number 5, they don't give you a degree, we set them equal. So this is my equation. I'm going to move the 2x over here. Now I have to get x alone. So I get 2x equals 0.28. I divide by 2, and I get 0.14. So degrees again add up to 90. Decimal places add up to each other, so you set them equal. 6, 7, and 8 are a review. The rest of the sheet I want you to practice on your own. So complete the whole sheet, and then after you submit it to me, you'll be able to check your answers.